Imagine you're working on a denial. You open the account, you review the claim history, you check the denial reason. Then you start investigating why the payer did not pay the claim. Everything seems normal. But then you notice something strange. The payer says, no claim on file. So, what happened? Did your billing team forget to submit the claim? Was the claim rejected by the clearinghouse before it ever reached the payer? Was the claim billed to the wrong insurance company? Was the wrong electronic payer ID used? Is the claim already in the payer's system but hidden under different claim details? Or are you running out of time because the timely filing deadline is getting close? Now ask yourself one important question. What would you do next? Would you immediately rebill the claim? Would you search the claim again using different information? Or would you simply document no claim on file and move on to the next account? Be careful. One wrong decision can cost the provider payment because while you are making the wrong decision, the timely filing deadline may expire. And once that happens, getting the claim paid can become much more difficult. So watch this video until the end because I will show you exactly how an experienced AR specialist investigates a no claim on file situation. You'll learn how to identify the real root cause and take the right action to help the provider recover payment. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to determine whether the claim was actually submitted, how to verify whether the claim was rejected by the clearinghouse before reaching the payer, how to confirm whether the claim was billed to the correct insurance, how to verify whether the correct electronic payer ID was used. I will also show you how to search for a missing claim using the date of service, patient information, member ID, tax identification number, National Provider Identifier (NPI), claim amount, and other claim details that experienced AR specialists use every day. You will learn how to identify the real root cause of the issue, when you should rebuild the claim, when you should correct the claim and resubmit it, when an appeal or reconsideration may be required, when you need to take immediate action to protect the timely filing deadline. And most importantly, you learn the exact step-by-step investigation process experienced AR specialists use to resolve no claim on file situations and help the provider get paid. So let's start with the most important question. What does no claim on file actually mean? Many beginners assume that no claim on file means the insurance company denied the claim, but that's usually not true. No claim on file is not actually a denial. It is simply the payer telling you we cannot find the claim in our system using the information currently available. In other words, the payer is saying we searched for the claim but we couldn't locate it. That does not automatically mean the claim was never submitted. It does not automatically mean the claim was lost. And it does not automatically mean you should submit another claim. It simply means you need to investigate further. Let me explain this with a simple example. Imagine you send a courier package to your friend. A few days later, you call the courier company and ask, "Can you tell me the status of my package?" The representative checks the system and replies, "We don't have any package under that tracking number." Does that automatically mean your package was lost? No, maybe the package was never shipped. Maybe the wrong tracking number was entered. Maybe it was sent to the wrong distribution center. Maybe it has not been scanned yet. Or maybe the representative searched using the wrong information. The same thing can happen in medical billing. Your claim also travels through several checkpoints before it reaches the payer's claims processing system. If something goes wrong at any one of those checkpoints, the payer may honestly say, "No claim on file." Remember this. The payer can process your claim only after the claim successfully reaches their claims processing system. If the claim never reaches that system, or if it cannot be found using the available information, the payer cannot process or pay the claim. So if you hear "no claim on file," the next question is, where did the claim stop? To answer that question, you need to understand the four major checkpoints every claim passes through. The first checkpoint is your billing system. This is where the claim is created, reviewed, corrected if needed, and prepared for submission. The second checkpoint is the clearinghouse. Think of the clearinghouse as a quality checker and electronic middleman. It reviews the claim for errors and then forwards it to the correct payer. The third checkpoint is the payer's electronic gateway. This is the payer's electronic entry point. It receives incoming claims before they move into the payer's internal claims system. The fourth checkpoint is the payer's internal claims processing system. This is where the payer stores the claim, validates it, processes it, adjudicates it, and finally determines whether payment should be made. An experienced AR specialist investigates these four checkpoints one by one. They don't guess, they don't assume, and they definitely don't rebill the claim without first identifying the real root cause. Because rebilling without investigating can create duplicate claims, unnecessary rework, payment delays, duplicate claim denials, and even timely filing problems. That's why experienced denial handlers always follow one simple rule: investigate first, take action second. Let's begin with the first and most important question. Was the claim actually submitted? Never assume the claim was sent just because you see it in your billing system. An experienced AR specialist always verifies the submission before investigating anything else. So, where should you check? Go to your practice management system or billing software and locate the claim using the invoice number, claim number, account number, or patient name. Once you find the claim, review the claim history and verify the available evidence, such as claim creation date, claim submission date, submission batch, electronic claim status, clearinghouse tracking number, transmission report, claim acceptance report, 999 acknowledgement, 277 CA acknowledgement, payer claim control number PCN if available. Now ask yourself one simple question: do I have evidence that this claim was actually submitted successfully? If the answer is no, the claim may never have been sent to the payer. This can happen for several reasons. The claim remained in hold status. The claim was never released from the billing system. Required information was missing. The claim was accidentally deleted. The claim remained in a work queue. The claim was created but never included in a submission batch. The claim was held for coding review. The claim was held for authorization review. A system error prevented the claim from being transmitted. Now, what should you do? First, identify the actual reason why the claim was not submitted. Don't just submit the claim without understanding the root cause. Correct the issue first. Then, review the claim one more time to make sure all required information is complete and accurate. Before submitting the corrected claim, always check the payer's timely filing limit. Ask yourself, am I still within the payer's timely filing deadline? If the answer is yes, submit the corrected claim according to your organization's billing procedures. After submission, verify that the claim was accepted by the clearinghouse and continue monitoring its status. But what if the timely filing deadline has already expired? Don't immediately assume the claim cannot be paid. First, determine why the claim was never submitted. Then, review the payer's timely filing policy and your organization's standard operating procedures. Depending on the payer's policy and your organization's guidelines, you may need to submit a timely filing appeal if appropriate. Escalate the claim to your team lead or supervisor for further review. Follow your organization's claim adjustment, exception, or write-off process if applicable. Never take action based on assumptions. Always follow the payer's guidelines and your organization's standard operating procedures. Now, if your investigation confirms that the claim was never submitted, your root cause has been identified. There is no need to continue investigating a no claim on file response because the payer never had the opportunity to receive the claim. Simply document your findings clearly in the account notes. Include the root cause, the action you took, the date of submission if the claim was submitted, any escalation or appeal if applicable, and your next follow-up plan. Proper documentation helps the next AR specialist understand exactly what has already been investigated and prevents duplicate work. Now, let's look at the other possibility. What if your answer is yes? You confirm that the claim was successfully submitted. The clearinghouse accepted the claim. The claim was transmitted successfully. And yet, the payer still says no claim on file. If that's the case, don't assume the payer lost the claim. Your next step is to determine whether the claim was sent to the correct payer. Now, let's move to the second question. Was the claim sent to the correct payer and the correct payer ID? Many beginners see that the clearinghouse shows accepted and immediately assume everything is fine. But that's a common mistake. Remember, a clearinghouse acceptance only means the claim passed the electronic validation process and was successfully transmitted. It does not guarantee that the claim reached the correct insurance company. It does not guarantee that the correct electronic payer ID was used, and it does not guarantee that the payer received the claim under the correct routing information. So, what should you do? First, verify which insurance was active on the date of service or DOS. You can check this by reviewing the patient's eligibility verification, insurance verification records, patient registration details, insurance cards if available, previous EOBs or ERA information, any payer information available in the patient's account. Now ask yourself, was the claim billed to the correct insurance? If the answer is no, identify the correct payer and update the insurance information in your billing system. Then ask yourself another important question. Was the correct electronic payer ID used? Even if you billed the correct insurance company, using the wrong payer ID can send the claim to the wrong electronic destination. Always compare the payer ID used on the claim with the payer's current electronic payer ID required for claim submission. Then ask yourself, was the correct payer ID used? If the answer is no, correct the payer ID before taking any further action. Now, before you resubmit the claim, stop for a moment and check the payer's timely filing limit. If you are still within the timely filing deadline, submit the corrected claim to the correct payer using the correct payer ID according to your organization's billing procedures. If the timely filing deadline has already expired, do not simply rebill the claim. Review the payer's timely filing policy and follow your organization's standard operating procedures. Depending on the payer's policy and your organization's guidelines, you may need to submit a timely filing appeal with supporting documentation, escalate the account to your supervisor, or follow your organization's exception or write-off process. Now, let's understand this with a simple example. Imagine the patient has United Healthcare listed in your billing system. You submit the claim electronically. The clearinghouse accepts the claim without any errors. Everything looks perfect. But when you call the payer, the representative says, "We have no claim on file." Why? Because the patient was actually enrolled in a United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, and that plan required a different electronic payer ID. Or perhaps the patient had Blue Cross as the primary insurance on the date of service, but the claim was mistakenly billed to Aetna. In both situations, the claim was transmitted successfully. However, it was sent to the wrong destination. As a result, the payer you contacted honestly reports no claim on file. This is why experienced AR specialists never assume that a clearinghouse acceptance means the investigation is complete. They always verify both the correct payer and the correct payer ID before moving to the next step. Once you confirm that the claim was submitted successfully, the correct insurance was billed, the correct electronic payer ID was used, and you still receive a no claim on file response, don't rebill the claim yet. Your next step is to determine whether the claim already exists in the payer's system under different claim details. Now, let's move to the third question. Could the claim already exist in the payer's system under different information? At this point, you have already confirmed that the claim was submitted successfully, the clearinghouse accepted the claim was sent to the correct payer, the correct electronic payer ID was used, and yet you found no claim on file on payer portal. Many beginners stop here and assume the payer has lost the claim. Then they immediately submit another claim. Don't do that because sometimes the claim is already in the payer's system, but it cannot be found using the information you initially provided. This happens more often than many beginners realize. For example, the patient's member ID may have changed. The claim may be indexed under a different subscriber ID. The patient's information may have been updated after the claim was received. The claim may be associated with a different billing provider or rendering provider. A data entry error may have caused the claim to be indexed differently. In these situations, the claim exists in the payer's system. The representative simply cannot find it using the first search criteria. So, what should you do? You should perform a broader search using multiple identifiers. Don't rely on just the claim number or member ID. Instead of this, you can search using date of service, DOS, patient's full name, patient's date of birth, member ID, subscriber ID if different, tax identification number, TIN, national provider identifier, NPI, billing provider, rendering provider, claim amount, CPT or HCPCS codes if required. Many payer systems allow representatives to search using several combinations of these details. If one search does not locate the claim, another search may locate the submitted claim. So, you can continue searching until you are confident that the claim truly does not exist in the payer system. Now, what happens if you find the claim? That's great. Your no claim on file investigation ends here. Now you can continue working on the actual claim status. The representative may tell you that the claim is pending, in process, suspended, denied, paid, or requesting additional information. At this point, your next action will depend on the actual claim status provided by the payer. But what if the representative searches using all available identifiers and still cannot locate the claim? Then don't stop your investigation. Your next step is to check the payer's timely filing limit and determine how much time remains before the filing deadline expires. This is one of the most important parts of the entire investigation because taking the right action before the timely filing deadline can make the difference between recovering payment and losing it. Now let's move to the final step. At this point, you have already confirmed that the claim was submitted successfully. The clearinghouse accepted the claim. The claim was billed to the correct insurance. The correct payer ID was used. You searched for the claim using multiple identifiers. And yet, you still receive a no claim on file response. So what should you do next? Now check the payer's timely filing limit and calculate exactly how much time is left before the filing deadline expires. Ask yourself one important question. Am I still within the payer's timely filing limit? This is one of the most important questions during your entire investigation. Because once the timely filing deadline expires, your options may become more limited depending on the payer's policy. If you are still within the payer's timely filing limit, don't wait. Take immediate action. If your investigation confirms that the claim needs to be corrected, correct the claim and resubmit it as soon as possible before the timely filing deadline expires. But what if you have proof that the claim was originally submitted on time and the payer still cannot locate it? In that situation, don't simply submit another claim. Follow the payer's guidelines. Depending on the payer's policy, you may need to submit a timely filing appeal or reconsideration with proof of timely filing. Your supporting documentation may include the Clearinghouse Acceptance Report, the Electronic Submission Confirmation, the Claim Acceptance Report, the Transmission Report, any other valid documentation showing that the original claim was submitted within the payer's timely filing limit. Now, what if the timely filing deadline has already expired? Don't immediately assume the claim cannot be paid. First, determine whether you have proof that the original claim was submitted within the payer's timely filing limit. If you have valid proof, follow the payer's appeal or reconsideration process and include all supporting documentation required by the payer. Many payers will review the documentation before making a final decision. But what if you do not have proof of timely filing? In that situation, review the payer's timely filing policy and follow your organization's standard operating procedures before taking any further action. Depending on your organization's internal SOPs, you may need to submit a timely filing appeal with any available supporting documentation if appropriate. Escalate the claim to your team lead or supervisor for further review. Follow your organization's write-off or exception process if the denial cannot be overturned. Never assume that every payer follows the same rules. Always review the payer's policy before deciding your next step. Finally, document everything. Good documentation is just as important as a good investigation. Your account notes should clearly include the root cause you identified, every investigation step you completed, every action you took, the payer representative's name if you spoke with one, the call reference number if available, the documents you reviewed or attached, your next follow-up plan, any escalation or appeal submitted. Clear documentation prevents duplicate work and helps the next AR specialist understand exactly what has already been done on the account. Now, let's quickly recap the complete investigation process. Whenever you receive a no claim on file response, don't panic. Don't assume the payer lost the claim. And never rebill the claim without first identifying the real root cause. Instead, follow these 4 simple steps. Step 1. Verify whether the claim was actually submitted. Step 2. Confirm that the claim was billed to the correct insurance and the correct payer ID. Step 3. Search for the claim using multiple identifiers such as the date of service, member ID, patient name, date of birth, tax identification number, TIN, National Provider Identifier, NPI, billing provider, rendering provider, and other available claim details. Step 4. Review the payer's timely filing limit, take the appropriate action, and document everything clearly. Remember this one simple rule. Investigate first, identify the root cause, then take the right action. If you follow this process every time, you'll avoid unnecessary rebilling, reduce duplicate claim denials, protect the timely filing deadline, and significantly improve your chances of helping the provider recover payment. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this training helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who wants to build a successful career in US healthcare medical billing. I'll see you in the next training session.